Holy shoot.
They should play at the big house.
We got
Bregman question to start. Is it? I mean, see that his locker is right next to Campbell and.
that's Tommy.
Right?
Tommy did
But,
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
is that a?
No. It wasn't a mandate. You know, like I saw him yesterday. He was in the corner, and today, I don't know if he asked for it or Tommy thought about it, but it's not coming from us.
Can't hurt though, right?
No, not at all. It was good to see. Like yesterday at lunch, he was sitting with the boys for like an hour, just talking to them and all that. So that's part of the equation. I truly believe that the more we talk to these guys, the easier the transition is going to be. At the end, they have to perform whenever they get there. But if we can speed up the process as far as like what's a big leaguer, right? And they have a pretty good idea of what they need to do. But coming from Alex, from Trevor, from Rafi, just to help them out, is going to speed up the process.
What do you think makes him such a confident player?
He looks for stuff just to get motivated. Some of them are real, some of them are fake, you know. But you know, that's the way he is. You know, I think everybody knows why he wears number 2. You know, he was the second pick of the draft, and he took that personal, and he's used it. Actually, we talked about it 2 days ago, and he's like, "That was stupid," you know. Like, I mean, like why use that as motivation? But that's how he works, you know. And I bet, you know, there was a lot of stuff in the off season that was written that you know he knows, and even the contract, right? Like everybody thought it was going to be a long one and X amount of money. Well, it's a short one, and with a lot of money, I bet he'll use that as motivation.
Is his wife really going to Harvard?
I found out on Wednesday that
true?
she's doing. Yeah. That was like, you know, I think she probably had a lot to do with the decision too, right? Yeah, either we both go to Boston or I'm going to Boston.
Scott kind of kept a lid on that part of it until after the deal was signed, because otherwise it might have.
I found out Wednesday night. I was like, oh, okay. They did a good job.
Understanding, you know, what you're saying about where he might play. What do you want to look at camp to figure that out? What is it you want to see?
Just the competitions around, and
players.
different players. You know, the roster is going to be a good one. Are we going with versatility? You know, there's like I said, you know, and Dan asked me, like, there's a lot of guys that have a chance to make this team. You know, and then we'll see how it plays out, and then we'll make decisions accordingly.
Wherever Alex does play, do you want him to play that one position, or would you?
Yeah, I don't want to move him around. He's willing to do it, you know, but I think we've been moving people around too much lately, and it doesn't work. For how good he is, and he probably can do it, you know, like I think he'll be elite at second. He'll be elite, even at shortstop. Elite at third. You know, I think, you know, one spot will help everybody else.
Well, it's fair to say he's not playing shortstop, right?
No. But I mean, you saw him yesterday taking ground balls, and he can do it. He's done it before.
Are you thinking of like making a decision like earlier in camp, or letting it play out to see how some of the younger guys fit? And like, is it something that you think you might not make a full decision on until?
All depends. You know, there's conversations of, you know, this scenario, that scenario, and you know, hopefully injuries don't come into play for us to make decisions. But like I said yesterday, we'll take our time, and you know, if it's early, it's early. If it's late, it's late. But you know, we have to make sure we take the best 26 going to Texas.
Because obviously he's fine at third. Like, he's going to be fine at third. But if you do decide a second, he's probably going to need time to figure out kind of the turn with Story.
Not really.
And all that, or no?
Not really. He's very simple. He was turning double plays yesterday, and feels like he's been playing second all his career. He was very simple, hands closed, foot down, go. You know, throughout the process, you know, he texted me a few times, "Hey, how this works?" I'm like, "Just save it, bro. Like, don't bother me." But he'll be okay. You know, like, he moves. He has good hands, good footwork. The arm is good. So I'm always worried about turning double plays, and yesterday he showed that he can do it.
Other than YouTube clips, you haven't seen Christian Walker this much than you had in the last few days, like in person, right? Has anything jumped out just watching him?
Physicality.
Christian Campbell, sorry.
Christian Wall.
Oh,
I was like, wait a minute, what?
Christian Campbell, right?
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Houston's on the mind.
Yeah. Physicality.
Yeah.
It's physical. Just the way he moves too. You know, it's different. You know, he's fast. You know, like he was standing in the left field yesterday, and he was shagging. He did a good job with that. Then he goes to second, and you know, we're working on turning all play. Very smart kid. He gets it right away, makes adjustments on the fly, and then during live VP yesterday, he hits the ball hard. Swing decisions are really good. He dominates the strike zone, and he puts the brakes late, very similar to George Springer, kind of like go, and stop. And not too many guys can do that. You know, most of the time when you make the decision, you swing, and that's probably he doesn't chase that much. So, you know, he's going to get a lot of bats. He's going to get a chance like others, but that's what caught my attention.
You watched the lives today?
Yeah, I was back there.
Yeah. What have you thought of Newcomb so far?
He got good stuff. And then there's a guy I've seen before, you know, from Atlanta. You know, he threw a few sinkers that actually looked, they were change-ups, and he got some swing and misses. So far, so good.
Are you looking at Fuller as more of a bullpen guy?
We're going to stretch him out.
Are you all okay?
Yeah, we're going to stretch him out early, and then we'll see.
Did Bayo kind of start things today, or is he still?
Tomorrow, most likely, he's going to start throwing because of the physicals, the medical side of it. They were locked in over there, so most likely he'll start playing tomorrow. Catch tomorrow.
Cutters, nothing's changed.
Yeah, just throwing bullpens, but not at a high intensity.
You expect all position players to be accounted for tomorrow?
I think everybody's here now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Any of
last.
those guys slow down with anything, or?
No, I mean, the only one, honestly, the throwing part of it is Rafi because of the shoulders, but it's kind of like a throwing program. He'll, you know, he's taking ground balls and all of that. The shoulders today, they checked in great. So that's the only thing that we have to make adjustments. But as far as like the swinging and all that stuff, he's good, but we have to make sure, you know, the arm is ready to go.
Will Massa be on the field tomorrow?
Massa, yeah, probably he'll play. He's not throwing yet,
Right.
but he'll hit outside. I mean, whatever program they have, you know, if they want to hit outside, he'll hit outside.
What goes into, I guess, making sure your shoulders are okay? Like just longer toss, or like what kind of?
I think the throwing part of it, you know, the offseason was about rehabbing the shoulder, so he's behind in that aspect.
What was actually wrong with the shoulder? Was it anything? Was it?
No, nothing structural. I think it was more like, I don't know, just soreness, you know. I'll ask B the exact term, you know, but he needed rest. That's the bottom line, and it was actually both of them. The right one happened in Colorado, and we were talking about it. His swing changed from that point on. He wasn't able to catch up with velocity, and he felt uncomfortable, kind of like getting to pitches. So, you know, he's happy. They won, but it was tough for him to get out there. So little by little, he's been here with the hitting group. He feels more confident getting to pitches.
If he ends up like moving, is DH like the only option, the only place he was?
Like I said, you know, we'll talk about, you know, if we have to make decisions, we'll talk about it later.
Is there any part of you, going off that question, that you've seen him kind of wear down because of injuries from the field? Like, is there any part of you that's tempted by the full package of getting him late in the season healthy because he's only hitting?
We have thought about stuff like that, but you know, his injuries happen, you know, like when the machine worked last year. I think the only one that has happened playing defense was last year when he dove. The elbow in 21, that was not related to defense. So, you know, we want to keep the guy. I mean, we want Rafi to play. You know, we know that. You know, so you know, we'll talk about it and we go from there. But I don't think one thing has to do with the other one. You know, it's just, you know, probably it's the other way around. You know, he's got him hurt swinging the bat. So
Costas is here?
yeah,
Yeah.
and Sedan is here. So yeah,
Yeah. Physically, Tristan?
he's good to go.
Everything's okay.
Good to go. Yep.
Tomorrow, you know, you always talk to the guys on that day. With the additions that you've made and some of the things, you know, what kind of, will the tone be a little different this time around? Or?
I said it a week ago. You know, every year is different, right? I think this year, and I'm very honest about this. It's about getting. we have to be very specific with the work. We have to pay attention with what we do. It's something that throughout the years, obviously, we've been sloppy in certain areas, and attention to details is huge. For us to play in October, we have to take care of that, right? I go back to the off season. Last year it was 81-81, not acceptable. It was a good season, whatever you want to call it, but it's 5 pitches here, 5 plays there, 5 guys from third base drive him in, right? That's what really happened, right? So if we do that, we're going to be in a good spot, but we have to work. We have to be very specific. I think the pitching department and the catching department so far has set the tone, and now that we have everybody, well, it seems like we had everybody a week ago, just keep working on that, in the cage, in the weight room. We have to make sure we are on point.
I don't know if you have the rotation set yet, but do you expect to get like Crochet and Bueller and those guys in games next weekend?
I don't have the schedule yet, but I think everybody's in line to make their starts whenever they. I don't think, obviously the 2 guys are behind, but the rest of them, as of now, they're good to go.
Connor's your catcher, but in terms of a backup, do you look at Narvaez as the leading candidate? Or?
No, there's no leading candidate, but they're good. They're good at what they do. Blake comes from an organization that they take pride on the framing part of it. Narvaez, obviously, he's really good, all-around player. So it's true competition, and it'll be fun to watch. And Sebi too. He's an experienced guy. He's worked with Liam before and with Giolito. Talking to them, he takes a lot of pride calling the game. He took a step back, I think, framing-wise compared to 2 years ago, but hopefully we can get him back. So it'll be good. It's something that he's needed, right, to make sure we take care of Connor, and everybody's going to get a chance to make the team.
You ended up using him in the field sometimes last year. Would you like to avoid that?
Yeah, 100%. I think the roster this year is a lot different. So, hopefully he doesn't have to play first.
Defense a huge part of that competition? Like, is that the main focus?
Not really. Just obviously that's important, and we made a point of getting better in that area. That's part of the equation, but I think the all-around player will help us.
How did Hammy's reps in the outfield go this offseason into this year?
Well, it was actually towards the end when we talk about it. So he was shagging yesterday in center field. He actually embraced it. When I was like, hey, man, how about this? He's like, yeah, hell yeah. He knows that versatility comes into play. Obviously, his tool, the dynamic player that he was last year, at that point, seems like we were the best offense in baseball. And it wasn't only this. We were running wild and stealing bases, scoring from first, and all of that. So he'll get a shot. If you don't see him playing in the outfield early on, it's not that we're trying to avoid that. Maybe he's working here in the backfield so he can get his feet wet. But as soon as he's ready, we'll use him.
Is the speed element something that you're going to encourage a lot more again this year?
Yeah, athleticism is important. Understanding that we want them on the field, right? That's huge. Alex, he might not steal bases, but he's a good base runner. Wonger, we know he can do it. So, try to be as athletic as possible and versatile. I think that's the most important thing.
We get to talk to Rafi tomorrow for the first time, I think. I think there's just this thought out there that he's very against the idea of moving, or there's a conflict. You've talked to him right along. Like, what is his mindset when it comes to that?
He's happy that we have Alex, and I think in these situations, probably what you're going to get, if I was, a shortstop, and they bring, well, actually they did, the Dodgers, they brought in Cesar Stures, I was like, man, that sucks, But then with time, I did my thing and started playing second and, did what I needed to do for the Dodgers. So, he'll talk to you guys tomorrow and, he'll be honest with you guys and go from there. We good? Thank you.